11 o'clock, and Vanessa Jennings is in the studio. Your calls are an important part of this show. So if you have a legal question, I know it's a sensitive issue, and going in a public forum like a radio show to ask a legal question is usually a personal question. There's usually a connection there between your personal life and your legal circumstances. So I understand that. And nevertheless, we will take your calls. We'll learn from them. And Vanessa, of course, is an attorney right here in Ocala covering all kinds of law. And good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning.
The show is called Legal Lane. The show is not Vanessa Lane. The show is Legal Lane. I don't know if I said it right or not. You smell great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well,
What
thank
is
you.
that? That's a nice smell. What is that?
That's still the laundry detergent.
That's laundry detergent?
Yes.
Did I say that last week?
Possibly.
Same thing. I complimented you.
That's okay. I like it.
No way.
Yes way.
I've never smelled laundry detergent that smelled so good before.
It's special laundry
It doesn't rinse
detergent.
out? What happens?
Well, no, I do wash my clothes more than once. Just joking.
What is it called? Can you talk?
It's Taylor Products, and the scent is Diva.
Diva.
Of course it is, but yeah.
Doesn't it smell good, Robin?
It does. It smells absolutely incredible. I love that scent. I knew you were here because it permeates through the building. It's wonderful.
It's one of those things, you can get it either Your Heart's Desire or Serendipity, to plug local places.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
where
I have we want the phone calls, but I have a legal question for you.
You do?
Yeah, it was something I read, and I don't know, it might be something like you learn in school or something like that, in legal school, law school, whatever it is.
Sometimes I learn things in legal law school.
Okay. So a boat is sinking.
Okay.
And there's two guys on the boat, and they both jump into the water, and there's a plank of wood. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys grabs onto the wood, and he's saving himself, but the other guy's drowning, so he goes over to the piece of wood. Now, the wood can't hold both of them. So he knocks the other guy off.
Is this Titanic?
And that guy, and the first guy who had the wood now drowns and dies. Now the rescue party comes and gets him, and they all learn the story because he tells the story. Now he's charged with murder. He says, "No, I did that in self-defense. I was defending myself." Did he murder somebody, or did he defend him? Was he? What is that?
That's more self-perseverance than it is self-defense.
It'll be so hard to live with yourself if you did that, wouldn't it?
There's a case and it's one of the first cases you read in criminal law, or at least it's one of the first cases I read in criminal law, where we're going back to the Queen's Court, so we're going back to the 1600s, and because it's pertinent to today's society, where it's almost a very similar situation. It's a group of men who are on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and they get lost. And they don't see land forever, so they think that they're going to either die out there or eventually go somewhere else and land ashore. So they start drawing straws to see who's going to get eaten, because they don't have food. Oh. So, and the person and there was who
Is this a true story?
It's a true story, yeah. It's a true case that happened.
Okay.
And they they end up choosing someone they just didn't like. And the whole idea was it a necessity? Did you kill this person out of necessity? And is killing someone for necessity a defense? And back in the day, they said no.
Could you even use a toothpick if you had eaten a friend? If I had a piece of meat stuck in my tooth, I'm just thinking here.
This took such a morbid turn so fast.
I just couldn't use a toothpick. I'd be, oh, come on, that's Jimmy. I gotta,
Well, you just ate Jimmy, so I'm not even sure a toothpick. That'd be the least of your worries, Larry. That would be the least of your worries.
So what they do? They killed him on purpose? I mean, he just gave himself up?
Yeah, no, he did not give himself up. They didn't like him. There was a sick person that it came down to a moral argument. Do we kill the sick person who's probably going to die anyway, or do we kill the person we don't like? And they went with the person they didn't like.
Oh my gosh!
You don't believe in God if you do that. You know why? Because if you have faith in God, don't worry. God will bring some food. A bird will drop on you and die, and then you have chicken or something.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then they have that cynical person who's on the boat that says, "Well, maybe he did give us something." There's Jimmy. We don't like Jimmy.
You're a good attorney. That was fast. Wow. See, I would have thought of that tomorrow. I would have thought of that comeback tomorrow. I do that all the time. But you have to, as an attorney, you have to do what you just did. You just demonstrated something very cool. You did it very quick.
My quit what?
Yeah, because I will do it. You have an argument with somebody, and then you come up with a better comeback like tomorrow or next week.
Yeah, of course. I think that happens to everyone. Sometimes I come up with a really good one a couple days later. It's just a sassy one.
We should do this as a game
originally.
with you. Just kind of give you a bunch of stuff to come back quickly with.
Well, you have to have that focus, though.
Is there a censor button?
No, it's not. Not after the fact. I often wish there was.
Can you use words like that when you're defending someone in court to get your point across? Bad words?
Oh, gosh.
Sometimes?
I'm going to go with a no in almost all situations. I think you'd have to know your judge in that.
Oh, okay.
And if it's a jury trial, it depends what word it is.
Really?
Because I've had to use words in a jury trial that I would not want to use in an open courtroom, but they were part of the case. So they had to be used. And they're not appropriate for the radio. So
Oh, my
No, I would
God.
imagine.
we don't have a censor button for that.
I would imagine.
So, and I've had to explain things in a courtroom that I would, to a jury, that when I was a prosecutor, that I would never want to have to normally say or talk about in court. But it's one of those things that if it's part of the case and the actual central part of the case for either your defense now, for what I do, or if you're prosecuting, part of your case.
It brings up the question of the jurors, because every once in a while you hear about a juror being dismissed or reprimanded for violating something. How do they keep tabs on what the jury is doing? I mean, if I'm, for example, on the jury, and there's some colorful language, and I say, oh my gosh, I got to tell this to my friends, and the judge says, you don't tell anybody anything. How does he know that I did? But it always seems like they find out somehow.
Right. Well, you remember being in school, right? And there's always that one person in the classroom who would tattletale on every other person in the classroom.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that person. Someone else on the jury will tattletale on you.
Oh, my gosh.
I've seen it happen.
Oh, really?
They'll turn you in. It's like they're a confidential informant. They're
And is
ready and ready.
it a blanket statement? In other words, the rules for a jury,
Mm-hmm.
does it apply to every single jury, or does each jury get a different set of rules?
Each jury is held to the same standard, but they get a different set of jury instructions, which is different. I know it's not really what you were asking, but the jury instructions is actually set forth case by case scenario, but how they conduct themselves is universal.
So they say if you're told you can't talk about the case to anybody,
Correct.
do you go home or do they keep you in a hotel? How do they do that? I mean, how do you?
Well, normally they send you home. I mean, in certain cases, they will sequester you. That's a case by case basis.
Where do they go? See, that would be cool, I think. Get a hotel room or something for a week.
With a pool.
Get to know. I bet you get real close with those jurors, don't you?
They even try to keep them apart because you're not even allowed to talk about the case with the other jurors.
Oh, really?
So you really are sequestered.
Yeah, but that's really a good thing, though, because everybody has to focus, not only you as the prosecutor or the defending attorney, but each juror has to focus on everything for their own self and not try to be, swayed by somebody else on the jury.
Right, but have you met lots of people? They sometimes forget. And then you'll see people not necessarily falling asleep, because I've only had that happen maybe twice.
Really?
That would be me.
Well, some of it is.
That would be me. I would do
boring,
that.
But
You'd wake me
sometimes
up.
you get
I'd be
bored.
excused, wouldn't I? I'd be done. That would be the end of my jury, Jody.
We just have the bailiff
I fell
come over
asleep
and poke
waiting.
you.
I fell asleep waiting. I went to do jury duty, and I didn't get picked. But I sat in that big room with these old magazines. Mm-hmm. Do you know where they put you? They need new magazines in there.
I know where they put you because we hold bar luncheons in there, but
Yeah. Have you looked at the magazines?
but during the bar luncheon, I am not looking at the magazines.
1972 Popular Mechanics.
Yeah.
Well, that is very on point with today. I mean, it's very pertinent. You should have read it cover to cover.
I think I did. And I fell asleep.
When people are picked to go on the jury, it's such a random choice. Are you able to be excused for one reason or another even before you get there on that day, or do you always have to show up?
Well, there's certain excuses, like if you're going to be expecting and you're pregnant, or if you're not able to leave your house because of medical reasons, those kind of things will be excused, or if you're in the active military. However, if you show up on the day, you're going to be excused depending on what type of case it is, what your personal beliefs are, and how the attorneys feel if you would be partial or impartial.
Because even law enforcement people are chosen to are brought in to be considered as part of the jury members, are they almost always excused, or are they chosen sometimes?
I believe it would depend on what kind of case it was. If it was a criminal case, I'm going to go out on a limb and saying they should be excused. Or they not necessarily for cause, but they would, because you have two ways you could excuse someone. You can, because you believe that they, and the judge agrees with you, that they would not be impartial, that they're going to have their own personal beliefs that are going to be clouded. Then you have peremptory challenges, which just says, look, I don't want that person. Whether the other side wants them or not, I don't want them, and you're given so many of them. So once you're done, you're done. You could have as many for cause challenges as you want, but you can only have so many peremptory challenges. So at that point in time, I would say the police officer's gone. I mean, there's lots of, doing this for as long as I've done it, there are certain people that I never choose. Like I wouldn't, on a criminal defense case, I would never have a lawyer on there. I would never have.
Would you ever have a talk show host?
It depends what kind of talk show host.
This one?
Maybe. I would never have a reporter or someone who's in the news on mine, because they need two sources. It depends what kind of case it is. As a prosecutor, I know I never did that, because they want two sources. And if they don't have that, other thing that's backing it up, then they can't go along with the story. So it just depends.
There was a news reporter in the news, we'll take a break, but let me just tell you first, and then we'll take the break. There was a news reporter in the news, a female, attractive lady, and she was suing the Marriott Hotel because they allowed a guy who was like a paparazzi guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a dirty paparazzi guy?
Yeah.
To drill a hole. The Marriott didn't allow him to drill the hole. They allowed him to have a room next to hers where he drilled a hole and videotaped her getting dressed or naked or something, right?
Yeah.
So he got arrested. The guy who actually was the bad guy got arrested. But now she's actually suing the Marriott for what, $250,000?
Yes.
Or something like that. So when we come back, I'm going to ask you how you would handle that if she came to you for representation, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. We'll take a little break and we'll be right back with Vanessa. If you have a question, please call. We will take your call. And where's the weather? We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, but cool with a high of 63 to 68. Then clear and cold this evening, low 38 to 45. Saturday will be cool, plenty of sunshine, high 65 to 67, and Sunday a nice day with plenty of sunshine and a high of 72 to 74. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Yeah, I'm that drip coming down from the corner of the room. But where did I come from? I'll never tell.
Bone Dry Roofing can and will fix it right the first time using quality materials and will deal honestly and fairly with you, period. You can find Bone Dry Roofing on their website, bonedryroofingllc.com, and Facebook at Bone Dry Roofing LLC. Do it right before your roof needs a tarp to keep the elements out. Bone Dry Roofing stands behind their work to help make your home safe and secure, plus they have financing available. Remember, if you're not bone dry, then you're all wet.
WWWOCA,
WOCA AM 1370
96.3 FM.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
All right, 10 minutes before 11 o'clock. Vanessa Lane Jennings is in the studio. Please remember your phone calls are invited. I apologize if I didn't catch any earlier. I was not looking. So I will keep my eye on the screen right now, 622-9622. Vanessa, I looked up the case that I was kind of talking to you about, and I know I told you during the break. So her name is Erin Andrews. She is from, what would I say, from Fox NFL. She's
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, and she's suing for not $250,000, $75 million. And the Marriott International, I wouldn't think that the hotel would know that this guy was going to do stuff like that.
And while you were talking about it, I was also perusing, looking at some of the facts. And you're asked what I would do.
Yeah, what would you do? Yeah.
The first thing is you would collect all of the facts. I mean, that is, you would go into details exactly what happened, and then you'd have to do a little bit of research to find out what steps the hotel took or didn't take in this case. You know, because it's like the McDonald's case with coffee.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know, everything that society talks about, like the McDonald's case, because that's been, I think almost everyone knows that one with the spilled coffee.
Right.
They presume what the facts are, but if they've actually seen the photographs or anything else and actually learned what really happened, it's a totally different story. So it's one of those things that you have to get the facts, understand, do some type of investigation. So
You have a phone call.
Oh.
Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, if somebody steals your automobile and has an accident and, let's say, drives it into somebody's property, are you and your insurance liable for that?
I believe that your insurance could be. It depends if that person has insurance themselves, because if they do, their insurance company would be liable.
Well, okay.
I don't do personal injury.
And also wonder, let's say that you left the keys in the ignition, mistakenly. Is that also probably a problem too? Then, because then you're probably partly liable for the car getting stolen, right?
Right. They can come after you on a negligence base, probably in a lawsuit as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know what happened to Robin and her husband? They didn't have a car stolen. They had the license plate stolen, but from a junked car, right?
Yeah.
They junked the car. The license plate was taken off and then was being used in some,
South Florida.
In some crimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It was really you, wasn't it?
That's right. It was me.
You on a crime spree.
Yeah. I wanted to see what it was like. But that was scary because we were, sent this letter by law enforcement, and then Ronnie checked into it, and he had to tell them, that no, this is who we gave the car to, and all that stuff.
You had to prove it, correct?
Yeah, we had to prove it. He had to go down to the DMV to tell them that tag is no longer in existence.
Yeah, that's something
was
that
really
people
something.
don't realize what they're actually supposed to do beforehand. Like if you junk a car, you're supposed to.
Take it off?
You're supposed to go to the tag company or tag agency and tell them that vehicle's been junked. Otherwise, they can't come after you.
Okay, but that's an innocent mistake that probably more people make than we realize. And I thought we were innocent until proven guilty. So what would they do? Oh, you're smiling when I said that. I mean, shouldn't the police say, oh, okay, that's it? I mean, why would they? So you could be arrested, actually?
I don't know if you're going to necessarily be arrested, but that's what you're supposed to. Those are the steps you're supposed to take. So they're going to come after you first, because if they have, especially in South Florida, where they have all the traffic cams, so they're able to go through them and see it and see the license plate number, and then run it and see that okay, it belongs to Robin. They're going to come to Robin. Now, Robin would have an easy time because Robin's going to be like, I live in Ocala, Florida. I have a radio show. I was on the radio at the time. I definitely was not in Miami or Opelika or Hialeah. So, but it's one of those things that it is required, so they're going to come after you first because they presume it is yours.
But see, again, what you just demonstrated is how well you were able to just dissect that and give us an answer. I mean, I think that's part of what I'm seeing as we do these shows is the way you think a little bit.
Scary.
No, it's impressive, actually.
I overanalyze
You could have been a
everything.
stand-up comic because comics got to do that too. You had a choice in life. You had a big fork in the road at one time.
If it wasn't just an intellectual thing, if there's actually some humor behind it, I 100% would be a stand-up comedian right now. So much less stress. I like it.
But you have to be totally involved with your client, with the case, and even though you're defending somebody, you still have to look at it from all sides just to make sure you've got all bases covered.
I always look at it from the other side first. And when someone's telling me their story when they come into my office, I am never looking at it as I'm representing them at that moment. I am trying to disprove their case and show that they have the weakest case humanly possible.
Oh.
That way I get as much facts, because then I'm coming at it from a different perspective. Because if I look at it from their side and taking everything that they're telling me as gospel truth, not that it isn't gospel truth, but then, I might miss something.
Yeah.
And you do have another phone call. Good morning. You're on there with Vanessa.
Good morning, Vanessa. This is Bob calling.
Hi, Bob.
Hi. Question for you. I'm a member of a homeowners association, and I'm on the board of directors. Now, if someone comes in, has an accident, and sues our homeowners association, can they come back on me personally with my things?
Was it in your house?
No. I'm saying if it's out in the road or the street, maybe they fall and break a leg somewhere.
Oh, if they have. So on the common grounds itself, can they come after you personally?
Yeah, that's correct.
No. I wouldn't think that there would be a way that they would be able to do that just because you're on the board of directors.
Okay.
They could
Thank you
name
very
you.
much.
They could probably name you in the lawsuit, but whether or not that they would ever win is a totally different question. Unless, of course, you did something that was grossly negligent personally, and there was some personal action that you took, which I mean that would. But in a we're talking very general terms now. They were just walking down the street and fall and break their leg because they tripped over a rock. I don't see them coming after you. Unless you put the rock
Thank you
there.
very much for that information.
You're welcome, Bob.
It is. Thank you. The phone lines are open, by the way, 622-9622. We've got about 2 minutes left. You can squeeze in a question. But you always hear that you can sue anybody for anything. You always hear that all the time. But don't you need an attorney to say, yeah, okay, I'll take the case?
Oh no, you can. It depends. Unless you're a corporation, you can personally go into the courthouse and sue anybody for anything.
Just sue anybody for anything. So you can name anybody for anything.
I can go sue Robin right now.
For?
Giving me funny looks. I'll find something. It caused emotional distress.
Well, I want to be on that jury.
gosh.
I want to be on that jury.
I now need therapy for the rest of my life because of the look she's given me.
Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing.
Let me see the look. What did you do?
She did nothing.
I'm teasing.
I love the fact that when you're speaking to us, you always have constant eye contact. You never are looking at anything else. You're always eye to eye with our interviews, and that really has to be a plus when you are addressing the jury or the judge or even the other attorney on the other side, because you can. You've got this very commanding presence about you.
Sometimes it's not a good thing because all of my emotions instantaneously can read on my face. So I try, sometimes to look away, especially if I know something ridiculous is coming out.
Oh.
Sometimes I can't handle it, I'm like, I will not laugh. This is going.
Oh my
I know it's coming. I will not laugh. It is not funny.
You're amazing.
Oh, really?
But it is funny.
People are lucky to have you as their attorney. They really are.
Vanessa, how do we? I know people have a hard time asking publicly questions like the last gentleman just asked, but how do we call you privately? What's your number?
It's area code 352-804-0092.
Call us if you need that repeated, or just go online and watch these videos. We've got a bunch of them now. Probably have 10 or so. I don't know how many you've done so far, but thank you.
Couple months worth.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.